Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello. Do I sound okay? Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh man, it seems like I'm in a row, man. Suddenly feel very motivated to live stream, which I have not been doing for a long time. And so welcome, guys. It's late in Singapore, but should be early for some of you. And welcome to my live stream. Inspired by me since 2006. Oh, that sound old. It's okay, I'm an old guy. I admit that. Start drawing, please. Wow, okay. Very stressful. It's 10 a.m. in New York. Yeah, and you're in New York, so take good care of yourself. And hello everyone, welcome. Again, I'm testing out these multi-streams, so yeah, bear with me a little bit. I hope there's no interruption. And yes, today I'm drawing Creamy Mami. I would say that she's my first crush, or I can say that she's my first waifu for a long time. I remember I bought her first vinyl record. That's like super long time ago. And okay, so let me start drawing, and welcome. If you need some music, just play your own music. I don't have music with me here. Can I ask how old are you? I'm 46 this year. For sure, I don't look like 46. But I am, unfortunately. As usual, let me deal with the eyes first. If I fail, I don't have to do the rest. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you like what I'm doing. Yeah, and today I'm drawing this very classic anime called Creamy Mami. And I said earlier, she's my first waifu. I was really into her when I was a kid. And that influenced my earlier art style a lot. I'm not sure how many of you actually know about this character. Even if you do, you may not want to say it because it really shows your age. So how did I find my art style? I know. Generally, art style are being developed through your own personal inspirations and influence what you watch, what you play, and what you are into, whether it's game, anime, movie, comics. Eventually those will contribute to your art style, your aesthetic choice. You can actually like sit down and try to meditate and find your own art style. You have to keep drawing, keep opening yourself up to different kind of influence, and eventually something may stick and you find your own little recipe, and that recipe will be your own style, and that recipe will change with times as you find new references, new inspirations, and new aesthetic choices. And it's always fun to see how your style evolve as time goes by. Oh, video game has very strong influence to my art style. For those of you just came in, hello and welcome. If this is your first time watching my live stream, I hope you enjoy it and maybe learn a thing or two. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. I hope I can catch some of the questions. How much time do I spend studying anatomy, figure and stuff? Oh, many years. I'm still studying, I'm still learning. I think this is a lifelong journey, And you always discover something new about anatomy. Is it still moving or is it pause? Someone say it's pause. Is pause? Are we stuck? That's strange. Is it still pause or is it moving? Seems like the Instagram site is stopped somehow. Instagram is having trouble. Oh no. Is it moving now for Instagram? Or is this still stuck? Oh no. Not very reliable. Do you want me to restart it? I can restart the stream. How often do I stream? Not very often, actually. But these days, probably because of the quarantine, that I'm trying to find something to entertain the crowd. So I stream a lot more often these days. Wherever do digital art stream? Yeah, I hope so. You've been a fan of me for more than 15 years. Wow, thank you. Alright, if you guys don't mind, I would like to at least try one more time with the Instagram stream. I hope you're okay. So after that, I will stream to every channel, but I'd like to restart the Instagram one if you don't mind. So give me a moment. I'll be. Alright, I'm back. Let's do it again. Hope this time around it will not get stuck. How do you maintain confidence in line art? I guess the easiest answer and the hardest answer is to really keep practicing until your hand manage to do what your brain want it to do. It really takes years of practice to gain some knowledge and increase the consistency. Really, there's no magic here. I mean, it's the same as how long do you take to gain confidence in swimming? How do you gain confidence in running and riding bicycles? It's always about building your muscle memory. And those from Instagram, welcome back. Sorry for the interruptions. I don't know what happened. Can I have that for my birthday, please? Well, I'll put up on my store after I'm done. So if you're interested, you can bid for it. Yeah. Is anyone here has ever watched this anime, like Creamy Mami? It's really really old school. Would you say you're faster digitally or traditionally? I would say digitally for sure. I always regard myself as a digital artist rather than a traditional guy. So traditional drawing usually is something that I do for fun or at conventions. My lines is so clean. Oh, thank you. Well, some of the digital drawing do I like compared to traditional? Well, obvious, Control Z. The ability to go back time, I think is amazing. You know, sometimes when I do traditional work, especially in the earlier days, when I make a mistake or did something off, my hand will automatically go Control Z. Means my hand will start to a Control Z action. Do I still play video game these days? Yes, I do. Not a lot. Mostly VR games on the Oculus Quest. And I'm really looking forward to the Final Fantasy remake. What pen am I using? I'm using this pen from Copic, and it's called Copic Gassenfude brush pen. It's really good. I've been using that for all my traditional commissions, and the only problem is that it's not refillable. Although some people manage to refill it, but I just buy new ones when it runs out of ink. Do I like Morrigan or Felicia more? Morrigan. She's so cool. Well, hot and cool. Do I have any tips getting better at drawings? Yeah, I shared a few times. I have this little formula. You may want to write it down. The formula goes like this. Theory plus observations plus applications multiply by the frequency of your practice. So basically, you need to know how things work in terms of theory, and then you observe reality and confirm that your theory is correct. And with that, you apply it into your work. That's called applications, and then you keep practicing it so that you can internalize the knowledge. Honestly, it's always about the knowledge. How much time are you spending on your fundamentals, and eventually those fundamentals become part of your muscle memory. So it's true in a way that the more you draw, the better you get. Of course, having said that, it doesn't mean that you draw stick figures for the next 10 years. You get good at drawing. You only get good at drawing stick figures. So having some kind of goal and objective in your practice is really, really important. It's hard to learn everything, although you may want to learn everything at the same time and level up at the same time. But most of the time, you have to pick and choose what's the most immediate concern or most immediate need in your art that you really want to grow. I mean, many of you play games, and you know when you play games, whenever, especially RPG games, whenever you level up, you have 1 credit to deposit into one of your skill sets. So you always have to choose which skill set you need most at that point of time, and to level up those areas. So art is pretty much the same. You have to choose which skill set you want to level up first. Of course, if you're into characters, then of course anatomy would be the most important fundamentals. You need to level up. Why didn't I stream digital artwork? Wouldn't that be easier? No, not really. They are the same. I mean, besides the handling of the materials, I find that the underlying theory is pretty much the same. And I've been drawing digitally for the whole day. I mean, I had class today teaching my students, so I'm quite done with digital, at least for today. So I want to relax and chill. So drawing something like this, I mean, sketching stuff like that, it's very relaxing, and I like that as a way to wind down my day. Archum, I love your Batman and TMNT cover. Any future plan to draw more? Not a big fan of TMNT. That doesn't mean that I won't draw another one, but may not be the immediate future. What do I teach in class today? Today I teach expressions. So I talk about joy. So how to draw something happy. Usually from my anatomy class, from my expression class, I'll break it down into three sections. The first one is joy, then followed by anger, then followed by sorrow. Then I will teach my student how to mix and match. When it comes to the expression for sorrow, I also teach them how to paint tears. Yeah, very fun. Is there any of my students here watching? If yes, please say hi. Raphael, 你好。Do I have online classes? No, I don't. Currently, the only way to learn with me in person is to come over to Singapore and spend a year with me in my school. For the clothing, did you follow based on the reference? Yes. For this particular character, because it's an existing character, so of course I follow the design of the clothing instead of imagining one for myself. Sorry if I turn my page too often. If I notice a mistake in my drawing, do I cover it with talk about traditionally? Yeah, I'll try my best to save it somehow, change some decisions or change some structure so that it matches better. It doesn't happen very often though. I think it's looking okay, not too bad. Is it true that 10,000 hours is all we need to be good? Well, in a way, yes, but you can't just spend 10,000 hours on one thing. That means, as I say, you cannot just spend 10,000 hours on drawing stick figures. You may become a professional stick figure artist, but that's all you can get. So it's not just about the time that you invest in your art, also the game plan, like what are you planning to draw, what you're trying to achieve. Those are also important. So having some kind of structure in your learning, that will really help. Does the video pause again? No, don't tell me it paused again. Anyway, if it's pausing, the rest of you can actually move on to YouTube or Twitch. I'll still be streaming there. It's the same stream. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Instagram today. Each time I draw, do I have a reference? If you talk about visual reference, pretty much only the costume I'm talking about that I need to reference. In terms of anatomy or poses, expression, those not so much, unless I'm doing something very, very challenging. Otherwise, I will just rely on whatever I have in my mental library. Met me at MegaCon. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I would love to go back there one day. It's ridiculous how easy that I make the art look. No, not easy at all. I mean, I spent 30 years of my time learning how to draw well. It looks easy because I train hard. At least that's what I hope. You know, when you're good with something, you tend to look easy to normal people. But it's never really easy. Why do I left the eyes to the end? That's my habit. I don't really. I like to leave the drawing or painting of the eyes until the end. You know, because I always think that, as what people say, eyes are the windows of your soul. So I always feel that if I leave it to the end, it certainly will bring the art to life and give me that nice so-called achievement or closure. Like, yeah, now she comes alive. So usually I do that. It's like, you know, saving the best for last. Like, how many of you, when you eat the ice cream, you eat the cone, you eat the ice cream first and then eat the cone in the end, your waffles cone. Yeah, I do. So it's something like that. Can you draw Bayonetta 2? Did I? Have I drawn Bayonetta 2? Only remember I drew Bayonetta 1, which I prefer the long hair version actually. The series Kingdom is so good. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kingdom. If you never watched that on Netflix, you should totally watch it. It's so good. Of all the characters that I sketched, which one is the hardest? Let me think. I won't say hardest, but usually I would say that character with a lot of details is usually harder for me to draw traditionally because there's a lot more things to be worried about. The overlapping parts, the details, intricate details of the costumes. Those will take a lot longer time. It's not really harder. It just takes more time to plan. You have to sit for many hours. Do you feel back pain? Well, I try to take break uh, every now and then. Usually I recommend about uh, every 1 hour, every hour of drawing, you take 5 minutes break, and that will really help to preserve your spine or your back. Thank you. I'm glad you like what I'm doing. Yeah, the paper that I use is a paper that I found in a local bookstore. It's some kind of inkjet paper. It's not available to purchase outside of Singapore though, unfortunately. But it's some form of inkjet. They call it the specially coated paper. It's not meant for copy or inking. But somehow I tried that and it fits really well. I mean, it works really well with Copics and ink. So eventually I use that for all of my drawings. Yeah. Greetings from Germany. Hi. Do I mind when people use 3D use my artwork to make 3D models? No, of course I don't. Just make sure you don't do it for commercial purposes, and make sure you show me after it's done. I would love to see it. The grammage of this paper is about 250 to 300. Yeah. Now let me lay in some gray ink. Have I ever worked on a video game? Yeah, many. As a studio, I mean, I run a concept design studio or art studio. We did many games for clients. I mean, personally, I did Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, online editions. I did the Darkstalker Resurrections. I basically provide in-game portraits and character artworks for the games. We also did stuff with as a studio, stuff with Dota, League of Legends, Warhammer 40k, Star Wars, all kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I've stopped working on game stuff for quite a while. Every now and then they may still come back and ask me to do something for them. But nowadays I spend a lot more time in the comic industry. And when I have my own personal time, I just draw my own things. I mean, at the end of the day, I've realized that many of us, as artists, our ultimate goal is to be able to draw anything that we want and make a living with it. So I think I'm pretty done making up for clients from the video game side. I spent many years doing that. So now it's just for me to chill and have some fun with the comics, make some covers, draw my own stuff, and just be happy. And of course, live streams, teaching, sharing my art journey with young and aspiring artists like you. I think that makes my life more meaningful and purposeful. I mean, I always enjoy seeing students grow. That's why teaching is really fun for me, to see how my students grow with a short span of time. It's a very different kind of satisfaction compared to, like, for example, working on some big video game titles. It has a very different sense of ownership. Well, you happen to teach kids. Depends on how you define kids. My students' age range from 17 all the way to 40. So from 17 to 40. So I think I teach everybody. If you talk about really, really young kids, the only kids I teach are my kids. It's really hard to teach, Where do I teach? I teach in Singapore. I run a diploma program in digital illustrations with a local private school called 3D Sense Media School, which has been around for more than a decade. And I've been teaching there for the past 5-6 years. If you happen to be Singaporean or from Singapore, you have really good government funding with my course. We are talking about 70 to 80% subsidies from the government. So it's a pretty good deal. Every time I want to draw, I get this feeling where I think I'm empty. What should I do? I don't really understand that. Yeah. What do you mean by empty? Like, you don't have any idea to draw? Empty? Not sure. What should I consider when one of my drawings seems too flat? I have often discarded some of my drawings because they didn't give me the feeling that they were three-dimensional. Well, to make something three-dimensional means you are talking about volume. How to make something that looks like it has volume, it really all depends on your understanding of lighting. How does light react to different materials under different lighting conditions, and how would they change in terms of values and colors? Those are art fundamentals you need to learn to make something that looks three-dimensional. You just can't go with like just YOLO and just go with the flow. It doesn't work that way. You have to really understand the fundamentals. Pardon me. Yeah. So do more live drawing, studies, take up photography, and observe reality, and observe how things work in real life. I can tell you guys, if you really want to improve, one thing you really have to learn is to learn to ask questions. Many of us live life taking things for granted, or you didn't spend enough time observing something that's small but important in life. For example, when you see that after raining, the floor is wet. And how do you know the floor is wet? I mean, you know that the floor is wet, but how? How do you know? What kind of clue do you get? What do you observe to make you assume or conclude that the floor is wet? and then you break things down. You do the same, like, oh, why does the shadow edges look sharp here and look soft on the other side? What does the shadow looks bluish here, look yellowish on the other side? How do I know that something is metallic compared to something that's plastic or rubber? How do I know? What make me think something look like something? And then you keep asking yourself that kind of questions constantly. Whether you're eating, you're taking a train, taking a bus in school, or taking a dump. Observe and answer the question yourself. Ask and answer the question yourself. The more you do that, the more you're sensitive to the surroundings, and next time you can implement or apply some of these observations into your work. So I can tell you many times you grow your art without actually drawing, simply by observations. Hey, Raiko, welcome. Yeah, I'm drawing Creamy Mami. For those of you who don't know about Raiko art, you can check him out. He's one of my proud students. Do I ever feel like giving up on art? No, of course not. Art is so fun. Why should I give up? Of course, having said that, I don't mean that art is not tough. It's tough. If you want to learn something good, I mean, you have to invest time, and it's tough. Cooking is tough. Playing game is tough too, to be honest. I mean, look at Dark Souls. If you play Dark Souls, isn't it tough? It's this, right? Why don't you give up? Why are you willing to die and die and die over and over again and still play the game?